Welcome to MirrorView 2 beginners class. We'll be understanding how to read a tape. So this is a tape. It's actually 60 inches long, and as you can see, it has been numbered 1 to 60. So from this point, which is 0 to here, is 1 inches. From here to here, 2 inches, like so, as you can see. So just as we already know in mathematics, it is half that makes 1. All right, so from here to here is 1 inches, meaning from here to this point, half of 1 is half. Okay, so you can even notice that the line is a bit longer than other smaller lines. So we want to go into in-depth understanding of all these lines. These are just as you have half inches here, half of half is quarter, so your quarter is here. All right, so this is quarter inches, half inches, 3/4 inches, and 1 inches. Okay, so same applies here. So if you reach to this point, it is 1.5, or at this point 1.25. all right, so 1 from here to here is 1.5, from here to here is 2 inches, just like that. So this is how to read the tape. Okay, so it comes in inches, and behind comes in centimeter. We don't really get to use centimeter in Nigeria, that I know, though there is in rare cases, or it depends on what you're making anyway, but we are most commonly familiar with this, so we get to use inches. So this is that for tape, understanding and reading a tape. So let's just go straight to understanding our body and the line. So I've drawn a body form for us to understand. So by the time we get into drafting our basic bodies, when we are talking about the lines, you're not going to be confused. So at this point is the shoulder line. This is the shoulder line. So by the time you're seeing any, I'm making a tutorial and I'm pointing out my shoulder line, this is where I'm referring to as my shoulder line. Okay, so at this point here is my chest line. This is your chest. So this is how it is, your chest line. So let me just label it shoulder line, chest line. Then at this point here is your bust line. Okay, so these lines are really important when you want to draft a basic body, so that you know where to impute your measurements. So know that these lines differs from person to person. From the shoulder to somebody's bust points might be, let's say, 10, another person's own might be 11, another person's own might be 12. So it is not standard. That's why it's good to take measurements, so that when you want to draft your basic body, you're going to impute these lines to get an accurate measurement of that person's body. So this is our bust line. Okay, so at this point is our under bust. Okay, so when you're taking measurement, it's important to take this part too, although it is not really common in beginners wears. It is mostly used for intermediate. Okay, so this is your under bust. You can write UB. Okay, so this is your waistline. So there are some garments you need to make, and it's has a joining on the waist, so it's important to note where your waistline is, so that you know that this is where the joining is. So this is your waistline. And then at this point it is your hip line. This is your hip line, the biggest area of your hip. Okay, so this is your hip line. So if you want to take a person's hip measurement, this is where you pass through the tape. All right, so your hip line. And then these are the basic line needed. So when you want to talk about other lines, just these are the basic lines actually. So except you want to draft a sleeve and all that, but we'll get to that. So these are the lines you need to understand in taking the body measurement. So let's go into understanding how to divide this measurement. So the bust measurement is divided by 4, as you can see. Waist measurement divided by 4. I'll go ahead to explain that better so you understand. Hip measurement is divided by 4. Shoulder measurement is divided by 2. hand width divided by 2, laps and legs if you're making trouser divided by 2, and then the length has no division. All you need to do is to add allowance. So depending on how long you want it to be, you just add allowance to the length. All right, so let me explain better what I mean. If for example we want to draft our basic bodies, let's assume this is our fabric. Okay, let's say this is our Ankara. So you're going to fold it into 4 like so. The first folding like this is into 2, okay, because here is 1, here is 2. Then you fold again, is into 4. 1, this is 1, this is 2, this is 3, and this is 4. All right, so you want to draft a basic bodies. I just want to show you what I mean by all this measurement division. So if for example, this is just a rough sketch though, you're going to be imputing your neckline around here. By the time we get into drafting, you understand. Okay, so this is going to be cutting, we are cutting the front and the back together. This is the front and this is the back. Okay, so let's say this is our shoulder line, our shoulder slope, and then our armhole. Okay, and then I'm just making a rough sketch. I want to cut this so you understand the body division, but when we get into class fully, we're going to be slow about this so you understand better. So this is the shape of what I want to cut. So let's go ahead to cut it. Okay, so let's just cut our neckline. Like I said, this is the back. So this area is longer because it's going to serve as our zipper allowance. So you're going to be understanding this better in class where it will be more detailed. This is just a rough explanation of what I mean. So this is the zipper area, the zipper. Okay, so for example, if we are working with let's say bust 40, okay, and we said bust measurement is divided by 4, waist measurement is divided by 4, hip measurement is divided by 4. Okay, so let's say we are working with bust 40. So 40 divided by 4 is 10. So I want to explain why it is like that, because you folded this into 4. So it means when you're taking your measurement, this part is going to be 10 inches. Okay, when you open it, this is another 10 inches, making it what, 20 inches. Okay, this is the back, this is another 10 inches, making it what, 30 inches, and this is another panel, making it what, 40 inches. So it brings us to our bust being 40. I hope you understand. So that is why measurement is divided by 4. So whatever measurement you're using, you divide it by 4, and by the time you fold it like this, you impute whatever you get when you divide by 4, and by the time you finish sewing and making your garment, it's going to fall into the person's actual measurement. I hope you understand. So in class, we are going to be making detailed video of all this, and if you have questions, you go ahead to ask for better understanding. All right, so thank you very much for watching. I'll see you in the next class.